Right, let's get started. Right, Lo Huishen. I think this part you're just trying to talk about non-public information. You basically have not sort of defined what non-public information is. You're bumbling all over the place. Now, this part here, you're talking about material information. Okay, so you actually got 2 out of 3, right? So that's why you got 4 marks. E, I gave you full marks. But then again, you have some serious writing problems. I don't know what you're writing, right? I mean, like here, for instance, right? Plagiarism means the use of others' information or direct copying, right? You should have stopped here, right? You should have stopped here. And then this part, you should have just have left it out, right? If you want to use this part, right? And there are no remarks, right? For instance, right? I help you now, right? No remarks, or I mean, it's better to use no footnotes, right? If you use just now, if you want to use remarks, not to say you cannot, right? Because remarks doesn't, it's very general. No remarks regarding who, regarding what the as what the sources are, you know this part you should have just left it completely out. It's totally not necessary, right? No remarks regarding what the sources are. Right, now pay attention. This part here, right? This whole part here, I can just use one word, and there are no, say for instance, right? No footnotes, right? No footnotes, just like that, right? And there are no referencing, right? To improve on this sentence, right? But, right? Instead of are, there were no referencing. I mean, I cannot correct every sentence of yours. I don't have the time. We don't have the time. Okay, right? This is just one example. So, Lo Huishen, you don't have much time. There's only about 3 weeks, 4 weeks before you sit for the final. I'm doing my best to help you. So this is just an example of your mistake. So you examine everything that you write, right, and you try to correct it. All right. You really need to work extra hard. If you continue like this, I think you will fail. Right. So question 2A. Right. Now, there's something quite serious here, right? I mean, simple words like this, right? And found that his company is prospered. Now, it is not his company, it is that company's, that company. Right? Found a company is not Richard's company, it's some other company, it is a client company, and found that, you just add a simple, right? This, right? This, not his. that this company's prospect. Okay, so you change the facts already, you know. Just from here, you change the facts. Then this part here, right? More is to meet with customer service. I don't know. I mean, very weird. Meet with customer service? You know what is customer service? Right. Moreover, I think you want to use more, right? Moreover, he met up with you know, some customers, you know, 1 day ahead. Moreover, your conclusion is correct, but your explanation is too brief. There's no substance, right? There's no substance. So 7 marks. Right. And then this sentence, this will affect the whole market. What will affect the whole market? Is, I don't know. I mean, it's factually wrong. The information provided must be full disclosure. All right. Either you say the information provided must be fully disclosed, or you can say must be complete. Right. Your conclusion is correct, but the way you talk about it is very brief, right? And here, this part here is factually wrong. That's why you got 8 marks. Right. Now, are we talking about standard 2B? We're talking about, now, we're not talking about 2A, you know, we're talking about 2B, you know. And then you even quoted the wrong standard. No conclusion, nothing, you know, no conclusion, no beginning, no conclusion. I'm struggling to give you 4 marks. Right, you see my answer? You must start, you know, put your arguments and then you conclude. Right, it's standard 2B, right? 2B, not 2A. You even quoted that wrong. I don't know what you're doing. Okay, D. He broke his duty. He broke his promise. You cannot break your duty. He broke his promise. He didn't keep his promise. I don't know. You just start like that. And anyway, you got this wrong, so you get 0 marks. I don't know what you're talking about here. You cannot say you don't have enough time. You cannot say you don't have enough time. You know why you don't have enough time? Because you didn't listen to me. I told you to practice and practice and practice. You know, you practice the tutorials like as though you're answering, you know, the question in an exam. You know, you know, using time constraints. And don't plagiarize. You know, don't copy and paste. Practice and practice and practice and practice. You have to do it. There's no shortcut. You know. Now here, right? Now, you can't even quote this part here. You can't even quote the standard properly, right? Standard 2A states that we know this information is very important. If it's not disclosed under special permission, it will affect the investment decision. You can't even do a simple thing like that. You can't even score 1 mark. Look, you're talking about E, right? You, you see the way I write, right? This part here, right? That if one. Standard 2A stipulates that if one. Now, I'm asking you to quote the essence of the standard, right? So you don't have to use one. That if we, right? You can use we or one, right? If one, that means anyone, right? If one possess, metric, blah blah blah. Right? So here, I mean, this is very brief. I mean, for me here, it's not even complete. All right. Okay. I mean, yeah, it is very brief. So in that, so you see how I summarize it. If one possess material non-public information, all right, that could affect the value investment. Okay, so this is a very broad way of saying, right? Then one must not act or cause others to act on information, right? 1 mark. I mean, so I suggest, you probably, you can pre-write this, and then you can just copy and paste like that. This I don't mind, right? You prepare like that. You don't even prepare properly. Now look at yours. You see what you're writing here? You see what you're writing? I don't know why you want to change it so drastically. You change it so drastically that I don't know what you're writing here. Right? So here, right? So here we can prove that he has the right. Henry has the right to know. Wow, really? Does Henry has the right to know? Are you sure? Then after that, at a lunch meeting, the CFO told Henry that the company profit dropped sharply. Okay, it will be announced next week. But when? In a year next week. But then the key issue is Henry, had a meeting, before the announcement. That's a crucial issue. But Henry told his agent before it was announced, and then let the broker uh, short the stock. The agent has nothing to do with it here. Wow. Now, who is the agent? Who is the agent? Then you say Henry also urges others to exercise. Who are the others here? Right? So this is very, very, very serious. But I'm struggling to give you 5 marks. Okay, Lo Hui Shen, you have anything to ask me? Because I think you have a lot of questions to ask me. You should be asking me a lot of questions because I think you're one of the weakest in the class. Yeah, I mean, there are other students who fail, but I'm just very worried about you, Lo Hui Shen. I'm very worried about you. I'm trying my best to help you, but you must help yourself. So I've tried my best to pinpoint your mistakes, right? So now listen very carefully. You need to work a lot harder. right? You have to go over what every student should also do, is also, right? You know how badly you write, right? So I already told you, give you new examples of where your mistakes are. Okay. Now, you know what my answers are like, right? Now, don't, but now I suggest you all, everyone, rewrite your answer. Now, when you rewrite it, you rewrite it on a blank piece of paper. That means what I mean by blank piece of paper is you don't refer even to my answers, right? Now, so you remember the points. You try to remember my points, and you should take note of your mistakes. And now you should try to improve on your mistakes, and just try now, especially for question two, right? Now, especially even for question one too. Question one, I mean, you have a similar question like question one in your second midterm, right? So I suggest that you try to rewrite your answer in 1.5 hours, because that was the actual time frame that I gave to my previous students. And these students, right, they were taking their midterms and final, right, face to face in class. Now this is online. Now online is so much easier. You can copy and paste a certain thing and then modify it. I know what you're doing. So actually online you should be doing it faster. And yet, you know, I gave you more than 3 hours and 17 minutes to do it. And yet some of you, and you even produce answers like this. So it's up to you whether you want to listen to me or not, right? It's up to you. I already told you what to do, right? So if you don't want to do what I suggest that you should do, I mean, when you get your results, don't blame me. All right? Don't blame me. I've already tried my best to help you, but you must help yourself. All right? Are there any questions? We shall end the session now. I will continue with Ng Wei Xiang, Ngô Hui Ting, Tai Yu Bin, Tan Hui Yi, and Wong Gok Jin, these 5 students in the next class. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Anyone? Right. If there's no question, we call it a day. Right. Thank you. Please do what I say. Bye-bye.